What's going on YouTube? It's your boy RonnyPugs back again with another Spider-Man PS4 video for you guys. And now that the last announced DLC has released, it's safe to assume we currently have our final suit selection for the game. So today I'll be ranking the 5 movie suits in game from my least favorite to favorite. I don't dislike any of the designs. I think each live action Spider-Man suit has been done very well, but for the sake of this video, one of these must take the spot as my least favorite from movie costumes of Spider-Man PS4. And with that, let's get straight into the video. Starting the list off at number 5, and my least favorite of the movie costumes in Spider-Man PS4 is the Stark suit. I do like this design, but going up against the other costumes in this list, this is the blandest one in my opinion. It doesn't have that key feature two other costumes in this list have that differentiate itself enough from Insomniac's classic. Sure, there's the black bands, web shooters, and black lines within the blue parts of the costume, but to me it doesn't differentiate itself enough from Insomniac's classic in the game. So really looking at it, it's kind of boring compared to the other suits in this video, but I still think it's a solid design that looks better than the movie in some in-game shots, along with this being the most comic accurate Spider-Man film costume to date in my opinion. Number 4 brings us to another MCU costume, one of the pre-order costumes for the game, which is the MCU Iron Spider from Avengers Infinity War. I rank this above the Stark suit because this costume looks amazing during sunset. I was blown away the first time I used the suit in game, and Insomniac's interpretation of this costume made me an even bigger fan of the design. I remember when I first saw Homecoming, I wasn't really feeling the MCU Iron Spider at first, but after using it in game and seeing it in action during Infinity War, I do believe this version is better than the one from the comic. The thing about this design opposed to the comic version is that this still gives Spider-Man the identity of Spider-Man. It's his color scheme while at the same time being a modified version of his original suit compared to the comic version, which could be mistaken for Iron Man. Don't get me wrong, I do like the comic version, especially Insomniac's adaptation of that costume, but the MCU Iron Spider is superior in my opinion, and a suit that grew on me partly thanks to this game. Up next in the rankings, in the last MCU costume of this video, with arguably my favorite Spider-Man design of all time, the homemade suit seen in both Civil War and Spider-Man Homecoming. This design embodies the relatability of Spider-Man while at the same time showcasing his genius thanks to the expressive goggles that for some reason are only used during cutscenes in game. But other than that, this design was my favorite in game pre-DLC. Insomniac got a lot of detailing on this costume right, with my favorite small detail being that this costume tends to get dirty. They also added physics to the hoodie strings that I thought were unique, but I wish we could have seen the same for the hood itself, or having the ability to trigger the hood on and off. But regardless, the homemade suit is one of my favorite designs in game. I'd like to see this return for the sequel with modifications such as the hoodie being up or expressive lenses during gameplay, and this would also be my number 1 if it wasn't for even better movie suits being added to the game. Number 2, and a design that a lot of us were upset to see when Silver Lining was first announced, is the Into the Spider-Verse costume. Now this wasn't the movie costume we wanted at the time, but the fact that Insomniac managed to animate the suit just like the movie is the reason why I rank it at number 2 in this video. It also appears to be a slightly different build for the character altogether in my opinion, which makes it seem like Peter Parker is really from another universe in this game, and if Insomniac is able to put that much detail into one Spider-Verse design, just imagine how great Miles' suit will look next game, assuming we do play as his Spider-Man. Alright. Number 1 in a costume you all expected to be at the spot before you even clicked on the video. Number 1, the Vigilante suit from The Amazing Spider-Man. Now this would be my number 1 in terms of worst Spider-Man movie costumes, but for today's video, we're looking at rankings of the movie suits seen in Spider-Man PS4, with my favorite being the Sam Raimi web suit. This is without a doubt the best costume in the game. I've used no other suits besides this since we got the surprise announcement that this costume would be in game. There's certain shots in game that make it look straight out of the movie, and just like the previously mentioned suits in this video, the amount of detail put into this is amazing. I have no complaints about the overall design itself since it's everything I've ever wanted in a Raimi suit, but I do wish Insomniac thought of a better name for this costume. Calling it the web suit makes it sound like something that Mark Webb wore, and I would have preferred names such as the classic movie or film suit, motion picture suit, or the modernized classic suit. But regardless, the Raimi suit takes my number 1 as my favorite movie suit in Spider-Man PS4, and hopefully next game we can see either the Spider-Man 3 black suit or the human spider make its way in game. So there you have it, my rankings of the 5 movie suits in Spider-Man PS4 from my least favorite to favorite. Let me know what you guys thought of my rankings and share yours down below, and as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow my social medias, eat your green vegetables, and I will see you guys again in my next video.